in the 76ers lineup tonight for the first time since February. Well, he's been recovering from a knee injury. Now, Embiid only played in 19 games last season, and he's only played in 58 games in his last 2 seasons. So with Embiid ready to return, this is what the 76ers lineup could look like if everyone is healthy. But of course, we know that Paul George will be out to start the season, so we'll have to wait a little longer to see this, but we will only have to wait a couple of hours to see Joel Embiid as we welcome you inside our Los Angeles studio. We have a former teammate of Joel Embiid's in the building, Danny Green, a 3-time champ, another champ, Kendrick Perkins, and our senior writer, Ramona Shelburne. Ramona, I'm going to start with you here. What exactly is the plan for Joel Embiid tonight? Because it feels like just a week ago we were talking about how he may not be ready for the start of the regular season.
Well, he's been feeling good, and I think that it's good for the Sixers to have him out there, but it's more important for him to see how he comes through any game action. So how he feels after this preseason game is going to be as important as he's feeling on the court. I don't think he's going to play all that much. I would be surprised if he went more than 20 minutes or something in this game. But just seeing him out there and then seeing how he recovers from this game is very important.
Yeah, it's one of those things where usually when players are coming back from a timeline like this, you're going to be looking at maybe in the 15, 20 minutes range for a star like Joel Embiid. Perk, you're giving me a look.
Look at that face. Look at that face.
Don't seem like a plan to me or the right plan. I mean, one preseason game, the last preseason game, usually is 2 or nothing, right? Nobody wants one of anything. I don't want one wing. I don't want one bottle of water. I don't want one cookie, right? And you talk about how he's going to recover, do 2 preseason games. To me, this is more so, I get it, Joel Embiid wants to be on the floor. I applaud him. He looks in phenomenal shape. But this is more so of giving the Philly fan base hope more so than anything, because I wouldn't let him play tonight. To me, it's
the equivalent of one cookie?
Yeah.
I will say this.
Yes, the last preseason game, limited minutes, you might as well wait till the regular
I think this is a great start. I'm a glass half full type of guy, so if I'm the Philly fans, I'm happy that he's at least starting the season. And we see him healthy. We see him out on the court. So I'm excited to see the big fella play. I know it's different for the group. I remember I was lucky enough to have him play at least 85% of the time. This group is used to playing without him. So it changes the offense and defense dynamic tremendously, especially offensively. They go through him at every possession. So now it's going to change the game, but also mentally and emotionally. When you have a guy like that not playing, you just don't know what you're going to get every night. When you're playing with him at full health, you still don't know what you expect. But Joel is such a great player, night in, night out. You know when you have him that you have a good chance. But without him, it's a different story. But I'm just happy to see that he's out there. Obviously, want to see his movements, how well he moves. But this is it's a glass half full moment for the city of Philly. Like, having him available right now, they got to be excited about it.
I will say this. There's a lot that he can't control. There's a lot that people in Philly, when you call them, they say, we honestly don't know how this is going to go. But the thing he can't control is his weight, and they're very happy with where he is in terms of what he weighs right now, how he looks out on the court.
And that really, I mean, that should be part of this entire equation here, Perk. For Philly, though, a healthy Joel Embiid, you played with a healthy Joel Embiid. What can that do for the 76ers season?
I mean, he's an MVP caliber player. So, hands down, if his body responds the way, they expect him to, if he can get back to that level, they're for sure a playoff team. They were in the play-in, they're in the lottery. That's a different type of story if he's on the floor for at least 60 games of this season.
Right.
So with him, you have every chance. You have a night. Every night you have a chance.
Yeah.
Sorry. And in the playoffs, even if you're a 6 seed, you have a chance to beat in the East. You know how open the East is. They can beat any one of those top seeded teams, whether it's Cleveland or if it's Boston. Boston's different this year. The only team that I don't see them beating is the New York Knicks. But outside of that, you have a chance to get to far in the playoffs if you have a healthy Joel Embiid.
I think it's also important that he wants to be out there. Like, he knows that they've built this team around him. He knows how much money he makes, and he feels terrible when he's not able to play.
He's feeling the pressure.
I've talked to him about it. He wants to be out there.
Right.
He wants to be the guy that this team can be built around.
And again, I don't know about you guys, but this is sooner than I expected to see Joel Embiid on the floor. So again, Joel Embiid available for this final preseason game for the Philadelphia 76ers. I want to get to some more preseason injury updates for you all. Starting here in Los Angeles, Bradley Beal. He's going to be making his return, his Clippers debut tonight for their final preseason tilt against the Warriors. Is that another just one cookie for you? Beal, remember, he'd been recovering from arthroscopic knee surgery that happened this offseason. As for the Los Angeles Lakers sticking in LA on this final night of the preseason, JJ Redick said that this is going to be a dress rehearsal. That's how he's going to be treating this game against the Kings. So all of the team's available rotation guys are going to be out there. We expect to see Luka Doncic for the second time this preseason. But of course, they will be without LeBron James, who is out to start the season with sciatica. Now, the Lakers, they're a different team without LeBron, of course. Since coming to LA in 2018, the Lakers play at a 49-win pace with him. That plummets to 34-win pace without him. We have the best stats team in the business, but I do take this with a little grain of salt because the majority of those games, they were not during Luka Doncic's tenure here. So the final night of the preseason here, Danny, what are we going to be talking about tomorrow about the Los Angeles Lakers after seeing their full complement minus LeBron?
Just how they look as a group and what DeAndre Ayton actually brings with that tandem with him and Luka, because that's pretty much the most important thing. Luka having a big that can roll, put pressure on defense, be a lob threat, and defensively. You know, I've liked what I've seen from him thus far. He's been very impressive running the floor, talking on defense, being active, blocking some shots, getting rebounds. That's what they lacked last year. You know, Rudy Gobert, 30 and 20 because they didn't have a big man. He's got to be the guy to kind of, you know, offset those issues. So I'm looking at DeAndre Ayton mostly. Rui, see how he steps up without LeBron James, how well he can score the ball, but also defensively. So they got to do it collectively. You're not going to be able to do it one person, you know, with the missing of LeBron James.
Tonight is going to answer a lot of questions for us as far as who's going to be in the rotation, who's going to be in the starting lineup, because he said a dress rehearsal. Usually when you have a dress rehearsal, you know, in the marriage the day before you get married, that's the people that
you have all sorts of analogies
today,
today,
people who are going to be in your
nice
wedding.
Dress, but not your wedding dress.
Yeah, but that's the people who are going to be in your wedding. So he's basically telling us, hey, what you see is who's going to be in my rotation. Right. And like Danny said, it's about the chemistry, right? How's Marcus Smart going to fit in? DeAndre Ayton, we've seen great signs from him. His mindset seems in the right place for us defensively. But most importantly, after a showing like Gabe Vincent had, what type of minutes is he going to have in the rotation? Where's Rui Hachimura? Where he's going to play? So that's what we're going to see. We're going to see who's actually going to be in the rotation and expect that whatever lineup and players that J.J. Redick plays tonight, that's going to be the players that's going to start the season.
Okay, but of all of those players, the most important one tonight, it's Luka Doncic, right?
It's Luka Doncic. This is his team now. I mean, until LeBron comes back, he's got the ball in his hand. The Lakers are his future, his present, and I think you got to play where you don't know when LeBron is coming back. They got to step up collectively, and I think they have learned how to play with Luka. I mean, they had a third of a season with him last year, but this is now his team, and this is only his second preseason appearance, so he's got to learn to find some rhythm with DeAndre Ayton and Jake LaRavia and Marcus Smart. And I wonder how this defense is going to go, though, because, Berg, your question is the right one. Who's going to be in that starting five? Is it going to be Marcus Smart?
I don't know, and I want to ask Danny this because it's been trending. Now, Ramona, Danny, y'all here, but Malika been surrounded by two big men, me and Big Boban, right? So it's trending around the world. Every team is going with a double big lineup. Danny, if you're the Lakers, do you go with your biggest lineup? Do you have Rui at the four?
You might not need that without Sabonis tonight, at least for tonight.
I think it changes regarding on the team that you're playing. But to me, Luka is the last guy that I'm worried about. It is his team, but the most important guy on the floor is DeAndre Ayton. That's right. Because they've all played together except with DeAndre Ayton. And, of course, Marcus Smart, another guy. But he is the focal point to me. His mindset, how he attacks and approaches the game. Him and Luka, two-man game. Austin Reeves. And, of course, early signing Jake LaRavia. If he can shoot, stretch the floor, they need some shooting. But DeAndre Ayton is the guy for me. I
hate to tell you this, Danny. You're starting to sound a lot like Kendrick Perkins over there. He's been preaching that all week. Hey, it's time now to take a look at some highlights from last night. Our big three. Perk, all these are dunks, just for you. These are dunks from the preseason. We're going to start with J.D. Davison, showing out in Atlanta for the Houston Rockets. This is the final tune-up game of the season. We didn't see a lot of we didn't really see much of the Rockets return guys. We did see that.
He used to be my son's favorite high school player. He
was unbelievable in high school.
KD and Alfie loving it, too. We had to shake the cameras a little on that one. All right, at number 2, let's keep the high flyers rolling. This is the Pelicans versus the Magic, and Zion Williamson went to work in the paint all night long.
Skinny Zion. What you got?
Little baby ceiling fan.
That's not a windmill? We're so close.
That's easy for him.
I feel like he might have jumped higher when he was heavier, though.
Well, Jeremiah Fear is looking like the rest of us. When Zion does that, right? And then in the same game, not to be outdone, Zion lobs this one up to Trey Murphy III, who punched it home. Is this a windmill?
This is the high flyer.
Oh, my goodness. That's Gerald Green-esque.
My bad, young fella. I wasn't familiar the game. I didn't know he had that.
Plenty more of these when the season comes rolling around early next week. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, that's the full complement Winfield. Preseason action. We're almost done with the preseason, y'all. But first, we head to Florida. That's where Paolo Banchero and the Magic finished their preseason undefeated. They beat the Pelicans last night. Now get this, Kevin Pelton's full season simulation has Orlando winning the championship. Danny, are you buying or selling the algorithm?
I'm not buying it. You got to re-simulate that. I don't know what you got going on there. But this is a very good team. I see them going pretty far in the playoffs, or at least the second round. They got better. Desmond Bain, one of my favorites to watch play. So, yes, it's a good young team. But winning it all, that simulation's got to be wrong.
You curious how many games and over who? 7 games against the Golden State Warriors.
Is that what he had?
The computer says, yep.
I think both those teams might be wrong.
Let's get to Detroit basketball. Cade Cunningham put on a show against the Wizards. 16 points, 12 assists. 7 of those dishes were to Jalen Duren, accounting for 14 of his team-leading 20 points. So, Perk, what do you like about their connection?
It's called growth. We know that Cade Cunningham could go out there and get his, but now making sure that everybody eats, especially your big man, losing Tim Hardaway Jr., losing Malik Beasley, need someone to pick up that load offensively. I believe that Jalen Duren could be that guy.
Isn't that your commercial? It's like grandma's on a Sunday. Everybody eats. Sticking in Detroit, it just wasn't all good news, though. Jaden Ivey, unfortunately, he's going to miss the next 4 weeks following a right knee surgery. He missed the last 49 games of the regular season last year. Ramona, what impact does this have?
Oh, this is really sad because the reason why they were okay letting Dennis Schroeder go and Tim Hardaway go and all those guys in free agency is because they thought Jaden Ivey was coming back. So this is unrelated to the left fibula. He broke his leg on New Year's Day last year. It's unrelated, but it's a knee on the same side. And I think we're going to see a lot more of Saw Thompson.
Yeah, we will, but hopefully he gets back soon because we know the joy that he plays with, right? The Pistons, they won their playoff games last season for the first time in 17 years, and now they're aiming to go further to break through to the next level of Eastern Conference contenders. And here's a look who has the most playoff wins in the East over the last 5 years: the Celtics, the Bucks, and then look who's right behind them. It's the Miami Heat, newly minted Team USA coach Eric Spoelstra. So for more on what Spo is looking to bring from his Heat team this season, let's step into the coach's corner, shall we, with our Tim Legler. I love this segment.
Legs.
And now let's look at some of that offense from a year ago and putting the ball in your best player's hands a year ago.
Okay.
Just talk about this action, what you say, we're going to let this play all the way through. We're going to see multiple angles of this on replay. So if at any point you want to stop it, just tell them to stop it.
Okay, let's stop right here. I mean, the first thing is anything with Tyler and Bam for us, particularly last year, was a good action. And the subtle part of this play, and there's a few teams that were doing this the last few years, this is an open side pick and roll. You can let it play a little bit. Tyler, stop right there. He's really improved this part of his game, and that's been diligent work. When he came in, he was a scorer. He was an off-the-ball, off-the-catch type guy. Then the first 2 or 3 years, he started to get a lot more skilled with the ball, and a lot of that led to scoring. But then as team started to scheme a little bit more, he had to improve his playmaking and getting off the ball and creating open looks for other guys. As teams start to load up, as a second option, we just call it a chop, a weak side screen, and either Tyler can kick it or he just sprays it all the way to the weak side. But go ahead and play it. You can see the first option on this is open, a two-man action with an open side, whatever that may be, a pick and roll or pass, give and go. Ended up being a pretty good action for us.
Do you like this, empty strong side set, nobody in the strong side corner? Have you found that's something you have success with?
We like that for the combination of Tyler and Bam. Because it didn't always just lead to a pick and roll. Sometimes you throw it to Bam, and Bam's a great playmaker. He's another guy. I talked about Tyler, but Bam really, offensively, I think you could make a case. 8 straight years, he could be in a discussion for most improved player offensively.
Now I'm sure you're envisioning this is Norman Powell standing over here too, which is an ultimate threat, which is going to extend the defense to create even more space for that two-man action.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no matter what your set or scheme or play may be, it always helps if you have more offensive firepower, particularly if you have it on the ball and then off the ball where you can't cheat and scheme on the weak side as much.
Well, appreciate your time today, breaking down some film, talking about your team. Really looking forward to see what Norman Powell brings and the extra added firepower, because you know you guys are going to play hard, you're going to compete, you're going to defend. You need a little bit more shot making, and you went out and acquired that.
Okay, appreciate it.
Have a great year, Eric.
Okay, thanks.
We're going to have more Coaches' Corners coming up next week. But USA Basketball formally introduced Eric Spoelstra as its new head coach for the men's national team. This is the press conference, and look at the Heat players crashing it, waving around U.S. flags in support of their coach's newest title. Pretty cool there for Eric Spoelstra, and we'd appreciated him joining us here on the show yesterday. We is going to have to wait just a little bit for Steph Curry, because season 17 of his NBA career, it starts on Tuesday night against the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, Curry enters the 17th season as the only player in league history with 4,000 three-pointers. He reached that milestone last season, and Curry has made at least 300 triples in a single season 6 times. Everyone else in league history, they've combined to do it only 4. But that's not just what we're looking at. It's not just the long-range accuracy that stands out. Steph also mixes it up. He has 12 seasons of 20 points a game and 5 assists a night. The only player with more in league history is LeBron with 21. And this will be the 12th season of Curry's career with Steve Kerr as his head coach. The pair, they've won 493 games together in the regular season, in addition to 4 titles. And I think we can all agree that makes them one of the most successful partnerships in NBA history. So for more on their relationship, I want to bring in our Warriors reporter, Anthony Slater, who has a fantastic story out right now on ESPN.com. Slater, what can you tell us about the origin of how their brotherhood kind of came together?
Well, it's fitting that you led this in with Steph on a golf course, because as with many Steph Curry things, it begins kind of on a golf course. If you go back 11 years, Steph Curry wasn't necessarily anti-Steve Kerr, but we can all remember he was very pro Mark Jackson. He did not want Mark Jackson fired. He voiced that to Bob Myers at the time. Ownership went ahead and fired Mark Jackson anyways, brought in Steve Kerr, and their first real adult conversation about the situation happened on Pebble Beach when they were playing a 2-on-2 match with Del Curry and Joe Lacob involved. And, Steph was very appreciative of the way Steve came in, complimentary of Mark Jackson and what Steph Curry had built, and just saying he needed some schematic tweaks that he thought would get him over the top. And that is the first of many adult conversations that I think has sustained this relationship to a rare degree in the NBA, whereas now entering their 12th season together, even though some of the relics of the dynasty have fallen away, Clay, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry wants this final chapter to end with Steve Kerr continuing on the sideline. He says in the piece that he doesn't want it to be anyone else. And then, Steve Kerr's kept it kind of open-ended, right? He's not seeking a contract extension. He's on the final year of his deal, but he made it clear to me he's not angling to try to get a different job. He's not going to be coaching the Spurs or somebody else next year. It'll either be continuing with Steph and the Warriors or walking away.
Wow, very interesting. That's certainly going to be something to monitor. I encourage everyone to read Anthony's story up right now on ESPN.com. But speaking of dynamic duos, I'm curious, who wore it better? Y'all, did you share wardrobe notes today?
Usually I get dressed in the dark, but this morning I picked out my outfit. It looked like your wife picked yours out. It looked like a sister dressed you today. Is that true?
Hey, it was segment 1. I saw Danny wearing a red blazer. I was like, I got to go to the closet.
If Danny's wearing burgundy, I'm wearing burgundy. I'm Ron Burgundy. No, just kidding. Thank you so much, Slater. Live in Chicago last night, and you may recall Ant was working with none other than Michael Jordan this offseason. So this little baseline jumper that you're going to see, it had a little bit of MJ flair to it, right?
It is everything.
Well, let's take a listen to Ant at Media Day explaining what MJ taught him.
Just getting to my spots, pulling up, shooting over the defender. I think the best thing tip that he's gave me is most people lean on people in the post with their ass, and he do it with the top part of his back. So I think I learned that from him.
All right, so you lean with it, rock with it. You said it's everything.
I think it's everything. I'm not a post player. I've never done it except for high school. But if he can perfect this, he can be unstoppable. There's a reason why this move, this shot, was one of the best in the business. Michael Jordan perfected it. Kobe Bryant, the late, great Kobe Bryant. Because it's unstoppable. Just like the sky hook with Kareem, just like the one-legged fade from Dirk. The fadeaway jumper is one that you cannot stop, cannot predict or contest the way you like to. So if he can perfect this, and you can't double from this position, a certain position on the floor. So if he gets this in his game, he's going to be unstoppable.
I agree. It is everything, because Ant offensively, he wasn't Beyonce. His game wasn't flawless, but he add this along with already adding the three-point shot. We know he could get to the rack, but he mastered that mid-post area, the mid-range area. He's going to be unstoppable, and then he may be able to carry this team even deeper into the playoffs to achieve his goal.
And then you will be Beyonce, because that's when you would put a ring on it, right? Did you see this move from Matas Buzelis last night, though? Check out the handles from the 6'10" forward. If you're a Bulls fan, you got to be excited for his second season after leading the Bulls in scoring this preseason. Hello? Ramona, are his highlights in the preseason something, nothing, or everything?
I think it's something. Listen, I like that he put it out there saying, I want to be the most improved player. I like that he had the guts to be in the dunk contest. Like, I like that he has some swagger to his game and his personality, that he's not just playing for Chicago and putting up stats. He wants to be a leader in this league.
All right, well, let's go to Reed Shepherd. He had one of the best of his preseason last night. 29 points, 6 boards, 6 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks. Most of the Bulls rested in this game. Most of the Rockets, rather, but they will need a lot from him now that Fred VanVleet is out. Perk, will Reed Shepherd be something, nothing, everything, or even a starting point guard for this Rockets season?
He will be everything for the Houston Rockets. They were one of the worst shooting teams last year. The one thing that you know that he is going to provide is shooting. So you could add him in the mix with the passing of a Şengün, with the isolation and the passing ability of a Kevin Durant and Amen Thompson. And the most important thing that you hear everyone around the league talk about is what? Spacing. He provides that.
We said everything for the first, so everything is everything. Now we're the
There were a lot of people who thought he
Everything.
should have been the #1 pick the year he came out.
He's very good, and I was wondering why he didn't play more last year to groom him earlier. But this is everything for him. To be able to get this year under his belt, to be able to groom, get ready for the playoffs. I don't know if he's going to be everything for them because they have Kevin Durant there and Amen Thompson. But if he can develop, this will be a huge plus for this organization.
Is anyone else just singing?
Is
anyone else like, after winter must come spring? All right, away from the season, I'm glad that we're seeing Nate Robinson healthy, and I'm glad that we're going to be seeing a brand new number for Russell Westbrook, the newest member of the Sacramento Kings. He's wearing 18 for his 18th season in the league. Now, the Kings, they will be facing the Los Angeles Lakers tonight here in L.A. Austin Reeves, he will be on the court, and he's seen his role elevated with LeBron James out to start the season. LeBron, of course, is dealing with sciatica and is expected to miss about a month. Now, Reeves, he spoke on that just moments ago. Take a listen.
We got a lot of really talented guys, and I'm definitely not going to go out there and be LeBron James if that was the case. People would talk about me like they talk about him, but that's not the case. We have to do it as a collective, and I'm just excited to start the regular season, go out there and compete with the guys we got, and hopefully put together a lot of wins.
Dave McMenamin is at the Lakers practice facility in El Segundo for team shoot-around today. And J.J. Redick, Dave, says that this is going to be a full dress rehearsal for the Lakers. So what exactly does that mean? What should we expect?
Well, Malika, let's look who's going to be replacing LeBron James in the starting lineup, because it's going to be the last chance they get to try that out in the preseason before the regular season opener on Tuesday against the Warriors. So will it be Jared Vanderbilt, who is cleared to play tonight after suffering a thigh bruise against the Mavericks the other day? Will it be Jake LaRavia, who's seen time in the starting lineup? Will it be Marcus Smart? I think those are the main candidates to fill that 5th position. And then also tonight, we're going to get to see Maxi Kleber for the first time of the preseason. He's been out with a quad injury. And in it being a dress rehearsal, J.J. Redick said we're going to play his guys larger minutes than they played thus far, including some fourth quarter action for Luka Doncic.
Okay, so fourth quarter action for Luka Doncic. Can you tell us a little bit more about the plan for Luka? We've only seen him in one preseason game before. How did they come to this decision?
Well, obviously he played almost a month of basketball in the summertime for the Slovenian national team in Eurobasket, and they wanted to be cognizant of him already putting that workload on his overall body of work and trying to get him playing his best basketball from April through June. So they've given him spots to rest, but again, his minutes will increase from what he did in his preseason debut the other night in Phoenix, and I don't think he's going to be in the 35-plus range, which will be during the regular season, but this will be a close approximation, give him a chance to feel what it's really like to play an NBA basketball game with that big game against the Warriors just about 5 days away.
Right, so we can see some fourth quarter action from Luka Doncic in this dress rehearsal here for the Los Angeles Lakers. Dave, thank you very much. Dave mentioned that the regular season is just around the corner. It tips off on Tuesday. That's on NBC. And our first doubleheader here on ESPN is Wednesday night. You can also catch it on the app. First, you're going to get the Knicks hosting the Cavs. Could that be a preview of the Eastern Finals? And then it's the Spurs and the Mavs for the regular season debut of Cooper Flag. NBA tip-off with Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq. It debuts on ESPN 6 o'clock Eastern, and that is going to be appointment TV. But so is this, our hit game, because it's Friday. So let's have some fun. It's time to play Who Said That. We're going to look at some of the quotes that caught our attention and ask our esteemed contestants and Perk who said that. Sound good?
Put the winner up there.
Oh, we're going to go straight into it. We're going straight in. But you're up there, Perk. You're leading the pack. But Danny, I'm going to you first.
Oh, man, this is tough.
Who said this? Quote, I like the Labubus. I've got 4 of them. I like the trend. It's cool. It's cute. Was it Tyrese Halliburton? Was it Hansen? Or was it Dylan Brooks?
I know this one.
I don't think Dylan would do the Labubu thing. I know him pretty well.
Okay. Would you do the Labubu thing?
No, I would not. I'm going to go with Tyrese Halliburton. I think
say boo to the Labubu.
I think he's a little bit more in that generation, that culture.
All right. Is it Tyrese Halliburton who's in on the Labubus? Wow.
Thankfully, this doesn't count.
I like the Labubus.
Dylan.
I knew that one.
I like 4 of them. I like the trend. It's cool and it's cute.
I think maybe because his daughter, his kids. Okay, that makes sense.
Well, it counts for like 5 more days. We're going to restart in the regular season.
Then Book made fun
I did not see this coming.
That was, wow.
What the hell?
Perk, are you ready?
Sure.
You're up next. He says, I'm born ready. All right, who said this? Quote, we came into the locker room at halftime, and I said I must have had my invisible clothes on or something. I was like, did you not see me? Who had their invisible clothes on? Was it Zion? Was it Karl Anthony Towns? Or was it DeAndre Ayton? I don't know this one.
The only person that would go into halftime and say something like that is the guy in the middle. Karl Anthony Towns.
Was it Karl Anthony Towns with the invisible clothes?
What?
Wow.
Man, we came into the locker room at halftime, and I said, Trey, I must have had my invisible clothes on or something. I was like, did you not see me?
Zion had his invisible clothes on, and he was ready. He was ready to catch the ball. He wanted it.
Yeah.
But no. Hey, at least they finished the play, right?
He got a dunk.
Yeah, we don't start.
All right, Ramona. The next one, my friend, is for you. All right. Who said, quote, hopefully we can be the silent, how do you say it? The silent knight? The silent horse? The dark horse?
I know this
They're all
one.
foreigners, too.
See, I thought they were silent but deadly. That's without knowing where this was
because I saw it at the time, and it was so
Let's
funny.
read the contestants.
Okay.
Was it Giannis? Was it Nikola Jokic? Or was it Victor Wembanyama?
It is absolutely Nikola Jokic.
Is it Nikola Jokic?
There you go.
So good.
Hopefully we can be the silent, let's say the silent knight, silent horse, dark horse, I call it.
So good. The dark horse, literally the bay horse that he's riding in on. We should have known that. That's like me when you walk into a room, you're looking for something, and you're like, what? Where did we go from this? Also, absolutely exceptional. Nicola, I mean, we probably need to go to the barn.
They have a carve-out in his contract.
He's a horse guy. You should know that.
Absolutely. All right, the last one is for everybody, since Ramona is the only one rolling today.
I know.
Who said this, quote, I'd rather have no preseason games and practice every day. I hate preseason games. We should just have practice for one straight month. I can see all of these.
I can see all of them. I don't know this one.
Was it Rick Carlisle?
Like
I was going to say Joe Mazzulla.
Was it Joe Mazzulla? Or was it J.J. Redick? Joe Mazzulla did have the media practicing against him.
Joe Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla?
I'm going to go Carlisle. I'm going to dark horse here.
Was it?
Joe.
He's the only person that would say that.
No preseason games and practice every day. Yeah, I hate preseason games. We should just have practice for a month straight.
I love the straight face in which he delivers it.
He means it. Yeah.
I did like, though, that we came around and clarified with reporters and said, you know what, I actually really appreciated everyone playing in the media game. I hope people stop joking about it because he felt like it made them all see eye to eye. But apparently now the next step is going to be practice for everyone. And I got good news for Joe Mazzulla and for everybody. After tonight, the preseason over.
Yes.
Let's go. Over.
For real.
The next time we see you, we will be on the precipice of the 2025-2026 NBA season. Enjoy your weekend, y'all, and we will see you on Monday.